All right, do you want to be a seven-figure speaker? Let's talk about the beingness of a seven-figure speaker. Well, there's three parts to it. First part is you've got to get rid of anything that says you are less than worth seven figures. So in other words, you've got to do the personal growth work to get rid of the lies that have had you play small and the things that are between your ears and the thoughts that said you're not worth it and that people won't pay and that you're not good enough. Please write this down. You are paid what you're worth. So we've got to do the work. You've got to do the work that you see yourself as worth seven figures, as you see yourself as someone who could deliver massive value. And if you're just beginning, seven figures might be a big stretch. So how about, can you see yourself as someone that delivers $5,000 worth of value, and then 10, and then 20, and then 25? And then can you see yourself as someone who leads a group program and does $100,000 a month? And then someone who does a group program at $25K a person and does millions of dollars a year. So first, see yourself that way. So there's two ways to see yourself that way. One, do the internal work to remove the lies. The second is increase your value, increase your skill set, increase your tools, and increase your sales ability, which leads to the second key of being a seven-figure speaker. You've got to sell like a seven-figure speaker. So to sell like a seven-figure speaker, you've got to master language patterns, closing techniques, have a great presentation. You've got to know how to express the value delivered, be masterful at storytelling. And then this is a critical piece. How you buy is how you sell. If you want to sell seven figures, you can't accept excuses from yourself or they'll show up in your audience. What am I talking about? If you're someone who says, I've got to think about it, or I can't afford it, then what happens is you'll have potential buyers who will say to you, I got to think about it, I can't afford it, and your sales will plummet. So you've got to no longer give excuses. If there's something you want, a phrase I say is, I can afford anything that moves my life and business forward, and then go figure it out. You guys, there's no lack of money. There's no lack of resources. There's a lack of sales skills, hustle, desire, and drive. So let's talk about money. How much money do you have? The amount of money you have isn't the amount of money in your bank account. It's the amount of money that you can inspire people to give to you, lend to you, invest with you, or the best of all, buy from you. If you increase your sales skills, the amount of money you can make is pretty much unlimited. The amount of money you can make is only hemmed in and limited by your sales skills and your reach. And then talking about reach, that leads us to the third thing. You've got to be easy to work with like a seven-figure speaker. So seven-figure speakers, they have their stuff together. They are a yes, they take action quick. They take care of their stuff. I'm not saying this because we have a live event coming up. They're on Zoom. They look great. They have a good background. They have their stuff put together. They return phone calls. They return texts. They return emails in a timely manner. They show up to appointments on time. They are a yes. And when they're a guest speaker on someone else's event, they do what they can to make that event awesome. And so if you want to be a seven-figure speaker, you've got to be it internally. You've got to sell like it. And then you've got to be easy to work with like a seven-figure speaker. Other types on being easy to work with, you guys, if you're like hemming and hawing, making excuses, you're going to be at a level and you're going to vibrate at a level that's a lot lower than the people who are cranking out seven figures. You got to do your work to play a better game. You got to get sharper. You got to be on fire. You got to do the internal program so that you're up here and you're vibrating up here. You're in the vibe. And when you get up there, people just invite you into their stages and business and life takes off. All right, guys, we'll see you there at the event, The Vibe, How to Sell from Stage, November 2 through 4.